It literally just was a bullet that says, get life together. So we did it in January. By May, Julian was done with his whole board.
And you can accomplish any goal you set out to get.
Welcome to the Alyssa and Julian Podcast.
I'm Alyssa.
And I'm Julian. And this is the Alyssa and Julian Podcast.
Don't mind me trying to fix my mind.
I know, me too. I was like, wait, it's a little far. Hold on. I like to be up close.
All this before I started, but I'm not that smart.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking about it. And I had the mic right in front of me because I don't have a notebook like Alyssa does because I'm not as fancy and as prepared.
I have to come prepared because if not...
She's like,
This hour episode will be like 3 hours long and half of it will be me just being like...
What was I going to say?
I don't know. That'll literally be me for the longest time. That was me actually figuring out something else that we'll get into later. But this is why we do it off the camera and why I have to bring a notebook.
So I just want to say I'm proud of you because you accomplished your intention last week.
What was my intention last week?
To take an hour for YouTube.
Oh my God, I did so much work today. I literally did most of this earlier today.
Yes, you did over an hour because you did work on Monday too.
I did?
Yeah, you did over an hour.
So
look at her, guys. Look at her. She still doesn't have a video on the channel, but...
I don't. I still probably have to update like my planner, but I don't know if we've mentioned it. If you watched... I think we mentioned it in today's stream, but when we were recording the last couple weeks for the podcast, I forget if it was last week or the week before, this table that we record on, if you're watching, literally collapsed from under us, and the soda I had spilled everywhere. All over the table, all over the floor, all over me. It was all over my notebook, so I had to get a new one. So this is a new notebook. So I've been trying to transfer what I had in my old one to this one because I couldn't use my last one anymore. The pages got kind of ruined. It's all sticky. Like, I'm just going to throw it out. But I need it in my notebook. But I want all the notes I had because I'm just that half-organized freak. So I had to get this new one. And it's so pretty. Everything looks like all neat and organized. It's great. Anyway, intentions of the week. You go first.
Oh, you go first.
I beat him.
Awkward. All right. Last week it was to get into my Skillshare courses. This week,
you kind of fulfilled that. You've been watching a few.
I have. But this week I want to start a new side hustle.
A new side hustle.
I want to start a new side hustle. For those of you who don't know, I'm somebody who's confident, but also like not confident at the same time. Like it's weird because I see people do stuff and it's very rare for me to see it and be like, oh yeah, I could do that. I could do that. Like a lot of times, well, I do say that sometimes. I say more so I tell myself like, oh, if I practice, I could do that. And then I'm like, I don't want to practice to do that. And then I fall into this trap where I'm like, I don't know if my work is good enough for someone to pay for. So I found that I have really good work when it comes to videography, video editing. And I think that would be a really good side hustle right now.
I feel like that's like really fun too.
Well, I also feel like there's an aspect of it that I bring that a lot of people don't have in that side of the business, because a lot of artists are very introverted. They don't really like take criticism well.
That can be true. I can see it.
Yeah. And business is interpersonal. So you have to be able to talk to people and get along with people. And I would argue that I'm more qualified for that aspect of the business than even the video editing side or recording side. Okay. So I think I could, really do really well with that side hustle. And as I was saying about a video I recorded, I went out and recorded a video, filmed it, edited it. It was like a baby reveal for a friend and it came out really well. And I was very surprised.
It was literally like she wanted to do, I guess, like a pregnancy announcement, but like a real type video.
Yeah, it was a real TikTok type of thing.
Yeah.
And I filmed it all, edited it sideways on my camera.
It was literally amazing.
Yeah. I literally like, as I was working on it, I was filming it and I was like, these are the kind of the shots I'm thinking. Here's how it's going to look. I had all my lenses. I felt so professional. And I don't know. It just felt really good. And, the results, like she said, her mom was crying and stuff, like stuff made me feel good. So being able to make a difference through something like that, like that's a memory they're going to have, a video they're going to keep forever. So, and I learned a lot from that experience that I want to take into my next project. So I will be signing myself up to do it again.
Oh, and there was other people there that were either, I don't know if they were doing that type of thing or if they were just getting like pregnancy pictures, but that type of business is definitely popular. Oh yeah.
Well, because it branches out into everything. Weddings, that what we just did, film parties for DJs. You could film concerts for people, like everything.
Even if a gender
reveal, baby showers, like people want everything documented these days.
Oh, and especially stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And
that's like the big moments in life.
It's very helpful when you have a knowledge of the business because you can speak to people. Because I'm a YouTuber, I'm more than just a filmer or a camera guy. Like I know social media. I'm a social media marketer at heart. So like I know social media. I know how to get yourself out there. I know what social media calls for, what certain viewers call for, certain ages call for different things. So it's very into it, and I think I have what it takes to do it. So I'm going to try it. And I've been doing a lot of research on it. My biggest concern is more so figuring out how to work my camera the right way, I think. Because it just in camera settings get really weird and kind of hard, honestly, to really figure out. So I want to get more into like learning that. So there you go. That's my intention. I want to lock in. I want to start the business, but I want to lock in mainly on figuring out that camera that's filming us right now and figuring out how to properly set a scene better, because I feel like a lot of issues we have with the video side of this could be fixed if I knew how to work my camera better.
Okay.
So I want to get better with that.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Sorry for the long-winded answer, but that's where I'm at.
Sometimes you got to talk it out to figure out what you're doing.
Yeah. So I'm going to do both of those though. I think I'm going to set 2. That's going to be my 2 intentions.
Fair enough. Mine was a more so like me. I think I had it a couple weeks ago where I was just like take some time as like a me time, like a I don't know how I worded it in an episode before, but I don't want to say get back into reading because I was doing a lot of reading lately, but I got a new book that I haven't started yet that I just really want to start. So I want to actually start having like a routine at night where it's kind of like feed the baby, change the baby, maybe chill for a little bit, but then have enough time to like read before bed. Because I feel like reading kind of makes me tired. And I feel like it can help me sleep a little bit.
I feel that. I think your intentions are kind of sticking to a pattern. So I think we should switch it up for you. This is what I do to Alyssa, guys. I like to challenge her from time to time. So you've been craving Chick-fil-A, right?
I have been craving Chick-fil-A.
All right. So here's what we're going to do. I will buy you Chick-fil-A if I'm trying to think of a fair amount of time. Because Alyssa loves this and she's just procrastinating doing it. So I'm trying to get her on it. And Chick-fil-A will get her on it. I want you to give me an hour. And honestly, most courses aren't even an hour.
He's trying to get me on Skillshare.
Give me an hour of Photoshop Skillshare. And I got you with some Chick-fil-A. Give me an hour. Because I think you could do some crazy things with Photoshop because you already do with Canva. And I pay for it. So if I pay for Photoshop's a way more powerful tool than Canva. Canva's great, by the way. Canva's great. For anybody who's using Canva. I love Canva's amazing. But I think you could do some amazing things with Photoshop just because you have an eye for it. So sometimes you just need a little push. So that's going to be my challenge, my personal side challenge for you. And feel free to issue me one, but that's my side challenge for you.
I'm going to learn it and Julian's going to be like, bet, I'm going to go work. Can you make this thumbnail for me?
You got me. Especially because I'm starting this new business. I'm going to be like,
I've done it before, but I just do it on Canva because like I'm literally obsessed with Canva. I love it so much. So I've done it before for you on Canva, but you could probably branch out a little more on Photoshop.
You could branch out way more. Look at what I did. Ever since I got the Mac, man, the thumbnail quality, I mean, not so much the podcast. The podcast is is different. Like I'm not going to get into how I market the podcast, but I don't really worry so much about podcast thumbnails as much as like our main channel stuff. But ever since I got the Mac, doing thumbnails, like I uploaded a video today, the thumbnail I made for it blew my mind. Literally the live stream, I made the thumbnail in like 10 or 20 minutes and the quality of it just looks so different. Like I'm loving it. I think you could do some crazy things if you got on there.
Fair enough.
So yeah, like I said, you've been following a read/YouTube notebook thing.
Because I'm telling you, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna say it until it actually happens. And clearly it hasn't happened yet, so we're still mentioning it.
We're gonna mention it, but we're gonna switch it up.
Right. Speaking of a marketing podcast, streaming platforms. Spotify, Apple Podcast, Amazon Music,
Google Podcast,
Alyssa Julian Podcast YouTube channel.
All that good stuff.
All the above.
But if you do watch it on
Find
YouTube
us,
channel,
watch us, listen to us.
If you don't mind listening to it a second time, the program we upload to loves when people listen to it. It's not really connected to the YouTube channel. So if you guys want to,
oh my God, he's about to have this table collapse again.
If you guys want to watch both, by any chance, you don't have to, but if you want some extra credit,
watch it, put it on a streaming platform and just mute it. Just let it go.
Yeah, we
won't tell. We won't get mad.
We won't even know. We wouldn't even know. We just be like, oh, thanks for listening. You'd be like, yeah, definitely did that.
Literally, you could lie to us. I'll be fine.
Yeah, I don't care. Just when I asked you about a certain part, you just be like, oh, yeah, I remember that.
Just think of what a good answer is and just give it to us.
This is Alyssa's baby, guys. That's why she's saying that.
What?
This podcast.
Oh. You know it. So today's episode is going to be talking about goals. Julian's been so excited about this.
We're back to it.
It's about current goals we have, where we're at with the goals we had, maybe future goals we want to have.
Well, we're going into quarter 4 of the year, which is crazy. The last quarter of the year. So we got to finish strong. Because by the time you listen to this,
we'll be
because by the time you listen to
home
this,
stretch.
Yeah, by the time you listen to this, you have about 2 weeks until the last quarter of the year. So with that being said, I know like school, when you're in school, you don't really think of years like that. It's weird. When you get out of school, that's when you kind of see it like that. But in business, but I digress. With this final quarter, man, we need a nice final push on 2022 to accomplish our last hanging goals. And also I want to talk a little bit before we get into it, because we have talked about goals before, like our first episode, but things have changed, things update. I want to talk about like good goals to set versus like bad goals to set, because I feel like a lot of people get themselves caught up in bad goals. And when you have a bad goal, it just leads to bad results and even worse situations.
Then people just get defeated. And it's not totally a defeat. It's just you're definitely not getting to where you wanted to be, which isn't always a bad thing, to be honest. But it definitely gets a lot of people down and they feel like it was a fail almost.
Also, you got to be careful when you set goals, because life and death truly rely on the power of the tongue. So what you say is real, and you can accomplish any goal you set out to get. But you got to really think, do I want that thing? Because sometimes you have a goal, you'll set a goal, and you didn't want the thing that you set the goal for. You didn't realize that you didn't want it, but now you're here and you're like, dang, I definitely did not want this. This is not as good as what I thought. This is dangerous. This is bad. This isn't good for my mental health. Like all the above. Yep.
Then you're at that point, could be in way too deep. And then you got to find a whole new goal. And then you're like, dang, I'm already behind.
Yep. Been there, done that, man. So I really just want to talk about some goals I have going into the last quarter. I mean, it's hard because I know one of them. I want to talk about good goals versus bad goals first, and then I'll explain kind of what my final goal is. But I think that good goals to have are goals that you yourself can and can't accomplish. like something that you can work on. I like to set my goals very high. A lot of people say not to do that, but I set my goals pretty high.
Julian has a pretty high standard for a lot.
Yeah.
Not saying it's always a bad thing, but sometimes I'm like, dude.
Yeah, I do. I'm bad with that. But I would say like set goals that you yourself can manage. Like I wouldn't set goals that rely on other people. Like sub goals are hard because they rely on other people seeing your content and doing that thing like subscribing and coming back, and it's hard. Even viewers is hard. Like the biggest thing you can do is really make the best content that you possibly can. And really just subscribe to that thought of, hey, that video sucked. How did that suck? I don't know. Like literally, I sat there today and I watched Alyssa watch my entire video moment for moment to see when she laughed, to see when she kind of got distracted or looked away a little bit, just to see any moment that was dragging. Like that's what I mean when I say things you can work on. Like you can see people's reaction to your stuff. And honestly, tell somebody like, hey, record yourself watching my video. Like if they're not with you, record yourself. Or, just sit there and show somebody something. And then even if they don't want to watch it, that should tell you something right there, first of all. Second of all, maybe it's not you. Maybe you just need to pick a better support system.
I was going to say, is that because on them or on you?
it could be either or. But for real, all jokes aside, definitely set goals that you yourself can work on. Make the best video possible. Set yourself on a schedule to upload. And it's not just with YouTube. I mean, you could tell yourself, yeah, I'm not going to submit any late assignments this year in school.
That's a good one.
Yeah. You could say, I'm going to actually study before a test. And I'm going to set these amount of hours per day to study. I'm not going to go on YouTube. I'm not going to watch Alyssa and Julian until after my studying is done.
We promote.
For real though, for real. And the biggest thing is, because if you get tied to a goal that someone else has basically laid the groundwork for, you subscribe to that goal without knowing how hard they probably had to work for it, or even just you don't feel, if you do get it, you don't feel the benefit as much because you didn't work for it as much. And B, you don't, it doesn't mean anything at the end of the day because you don't even know why you worked for it. Like when you set a goal, you should know what you're working towards, why you're working towards it, and how it's going to benefit you in your future. And those are the types of goals. Like it's so hard because people, especially my high school seniors, man, I wouldn't go into this year like, my goal is to get into this school or get into that school. Because at the end of the day, you can't control that. You cannot control that because the only thing you can do is submit your SAT scores, submit your application, submit, what else have you submit?
Like
your essay.
Yeah,
submit your essay, do the best you can. Literally, if you do the best you can on all those, you really just gotta let the rest take care of itself, man. And I'm not saying having dream schools. I'm saying here's the schools I would like to go to. I'm gonna submit my stuff for it, and the rest is what it is. And I know it's hard to say that because that's your future, but I do it every day, guys. I literally like upload a video and I'm like, whatever happens to it, happens to it. And I think that's the most nerve-wracking part about content is not knowing what is going to happen in the future. And it's hard because you can really put your best foot forward, but you never know how things are going to go with the algorithm, the viewers. Like you just never know. The time you uploaded, somebody might be busy. People might actually just be busy. You never know.
Then we talked about going into school. Then you have to think about like when you upload, like people are like in school. People are going to be in class.
In bed early.
So there's like not a limited window, but it's going to be smaller than the all day you have for summer that people are in.
So with that being said, let's get into goals. So one of my goals is so hard because this is one of the worst things about YouTube when you start a channel. I would like to get my personal channel monetization, which is 1,000 subscribers and the watch time hours. But again, those are just goals I can't control. So I'm trying my best to not make that be my goal. Like I'm just like, dude, that's awesome if I can get it. But I'm doing everything in my power to make it happen. Like I said, a giveaway. By the way, go subscribe over there because, you know, by the end of summer, if we get that 1,000 subscribers, like I got y'all with $100. So not all y'all, one of y'all. But go ahead, go over there. Yeah, that is a lot of money. So make sure y'all go over there, check that out. But that's what I mean. Like doing everything I can versus just sitting around and hoping that goal comes is two different things. So as much as that is a goal, it's not one of the goals that I'm just like, yo, like this is everything. Like I need this so bad. I'll do anything for this. Like, nah, like we have a channel that's successful. Thank you to you guys. We appreciate it. 100%. We have a podcast that's doing well. And even my channel, like it's doing well. It's just not at a monetized level yet, which is completely fine. It's not a big deal. But obviously, like we would definitely love if that could happen. But it's not a big deal. With that being said, though, the goal doesn't change. The goal is to get better every day. Like every single video, I want to get better. And I literally recorded a video. I looked at Alyssa and said, this is trash. And I scrapped it because I knew that's not my best work going out there. And I didn't want to subject people to thinking that this is who I am, especially early on being a small channel. I did not want people to think I just upload anything for them to watch. Like I dumped it and I said, this is it. This is going to be the video I upload. And honestly, I love it so much more than what I was thinking about uploading. It came out so much better.
The one you posted today was better than the one?
Because my heart was in it.
Yeah.
So I said, you know what? My goal is to produce content that my heart is truly in. So I think that's one of my goals. Obviously, monetization is kind of like hey, if it happens, that'd be dope. But to make that happen, I'm going to produce content that my heart is in, and I want to stay consistent with posting as close to weekly as possible. Like I literally want a video up a week if I can.
You were on pretty good track with that.
I know. Then that cruise got me all jacked up.
When you came back from the cruise, it was hard. I don't want to say it wasn't a priority, but it's just now you're like, I don't know what to record.
It wasn't a priority. I'll be honest, it wasn't because I had to get back on track financially. I spent way too much on that cruise. I had to get back on track financially.
He's like, wait, hold on.
And it just threw me off that I'd spent so much. So it was not a priority. But that's one of my top goals. Another one of my top goals is really pay down some debt. That's always good. You want to try to keep as clean of a slate as you can when it comes to that stuff. So I want to definitely do that if I can. And then lastly, comes to purchasing something. This is where I talk about you don't know if you want to do that because sometimes you spend some money and it's not the right thing, or you overpaid and you shouldn't have overpaid because you don't even know what you're doing with it. But I want to buy that Sony a7 IV.
Oh,
I think I can make some crazy videos with the Sony a7 IV. Forgive me. I know it's not about the equipment. All the content creators and video production guys are out there yelling at me, you don't need a hat.
I thought you were going to go into your impulse buying. That's why I was like, this makes me laugh.
No, I don't want to.
Did not go in that direction.
I don't listen. Sometimes my impulse buying is good.
It depends.
Sometimes
impulse buy, it's not bad. Sometimes I'm like, dude.
Every impulse buy I made this year, I love. Every single one. I can't. No, that's not true. That's not true. I made one that I'm like, oh, I probably shouldn't have bought that. The Oculus. It just sits there. Like,
you loved it at first.
I did love it at first.
Now it's just a decoration piece.
It is. It's a good decoration piece.
It's literally behind me, like on this light. There's shelves on it, and it's literally just sitting on one of those shelves.
Yeah, because I liked it, and it's something that like could be useful, but it was for a video, and after that, it's just like, what am I gonna do with it? Like, there's no practical use of it, because the same thing. I bought the Stream Deck impulse buy. That wasn't this year, so that doesn't count. But I bought that impulse buy, and I'm like, what do I do? I was just telling one of my boys, I'm like, dude, like, what do I do with this? I have no idea how to like incorporate it into my daily lifestyle, my daily use.
You started to.
I tried. I mean, the biggest thing I put on there was like our view count and our sub count. That's how I knew we hit 2 million views.
You had it at first where you can press record to like start, and like when we wanted to like pause the video, if you were doing reactions, you would just hit it really quick instead of like messing with the whole screen and whatnot. So you had it a little bit.
It just was a bit much.
I feel like it kind of died off.
Yeah, because it was just when you're so used to mouse and keyboard and,
you kind of have to train yourself.
You have to train yourself. And I just wasn't ready to train. The only thing I would use it for, if I could, but people literally wire their house for it. And that's just to hit that one button setup. Because Mr. Beast had that in the studio. Remember we saw in the studio reaction, that one button set up, everything turned on. But yeah. Oh, and another goal I forgot about. I want to become a better video editor. I want to be able to be a better video editor to the point where like I could go into After Effects and make some crazy and like everybody's like, whoa, that's Julian's videos. Like I want to hear that. Like, yo, he made that. Like that's what I'm saying. So that's why even doing something like this
You've
videography
had those
thing,
moments.
I have, but I want to get better. And I want to get into the videography thing because I feel like that's even more training. It's more practice.
I feel like you should. Mean?
And it's more time being in my environment. It's something I love.
I feel like you loved it. And the fact that you actually did it and had fun with it on both the like recording it and like creating the actual like real TikTok, whatever, however you want to word it, like just shows that it's almost for you.
Yeah. Yeah. So like I guess you weren't
like, oh, recording it was fun, but editing was or like vice versa. Like you had fun with both ends.
That's a goal. I think I would like to get like maybe 3 to 4 clients a month. I think that would be cool.
That'd be a lot.
I could do like 3 to 4 a month by the end of the year. Like, and I don't expect that right away. I'm thinking more so like towards November. If I could hit like 3 to 4 between November, December, I think that'd be sick. Because wedding season's dying down. So if I could kind of get my name out there over the winter time, come next wedding season, I could probably up that a lot.
I mean, I feel like you can kind of guess like wedding season, but like you can't guess like babies.
No, exactly. Babies are everywhere.
Babies are like all the time. So even if you did like a pregnancy announcement, gender reveal, baby shower, like that can literally be like whenever. Probably not more so in the winter for where we are because like how we had it in case of snow purposes.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Which that happened.
It snowstormed on our baby shower day. It sure did.
But yeah, like that's not like, oh, that's not gonna happen anytime soon. Where like weddings, you could be like, yeah, that might slow down for the next couple months and pick back up in like March.
But I also another goal I want to add into. I want to learn this.
The piano you bought.
I still want to learn
another song. Impulse buy. I might add, but it hasn't really been a bad one. He's been on it actually. That's another Skillshare course he's looked at. He's actually been practicing, looking stuff up. I've actually been pretty impressed. I thought it was going to be one of those like turning into a decoration pieces, but
no, I love it. Like this whole setup, it gives it life in here, and it fits perfectly in my opinion.
It does. It looks really good in here. I do like it.
With the whole little light there.
Yeah, I love that lamp.
I do too.
I saw it too when I saw the shelves and I'm like, you can even put stuff on it to make it more like for the room decoration vibes. I love that.
I think that's the best. I think that's it for my goals though, because if I said any more, I'm probably going to like.
We actually kind of had the same goals. We had 2 of the same, to be honest.
Oh, yeah?
I had financial stability as one of my goals, more so because same thing with debt is just trying to get that either taken care of or at least like a start type of thing. Definitely that. I don't know. I'm trying to get it to where like my car is either not paid off because I don't owe a lot, but I owe some money. Either like not have as high as payments or just kind of get that like throw a little more at it type of thing. I had YouTube for both channels. I feel like we've been doing really good on, well, I can't even say both because there's so many. I feel like we've been doing really good on reactions. I don't know. I feel like you can still improve. Not saying we're doing bad, but you can still improve. Definitely my channel. Oh my God, I need to do something. I need to get on that. Like, what even is YouTube for me anyways? And then I feel like this channel, just kind of keep at it. Improve location-wise, like setup-wise.
Speaking of improving, can I cut you off for 2 seconds? I'll let you have it right back. I just want to say this. I don't know if you guys heard it last week, but man, did we improve on the audio, because I found something different with my my preamp that I bought. I didn't realize you could record straight to the preamp. So I literally hit record on the preamp. I inserted an SD card that I had just laying around into the preamp. Next, a big record button pops up. So now I had the audio recording double. And of course, obviously, it's not transmitting through all these wires and stuff. So it's going straight to the preamp. And it sounds amazing out of there. And I edited it and I fell in love. I was like, what in the world?
He was like, listen.
I was obsessed. I listened to the podcast like 2 or 3 times last week. I was so obsessed with that audio. I was just sitting there like stunned. I didn't even know. I was so upset with myself that I hadn't done that before. It was amazing.
10 episodes deep and he's just
I
mean, at least we're only 10. Like, imagine if we were doing like 100 episodes and you were like, wait, what?
If this could do this. I mean, that thing does so much more that we haven't even messed with yet. Like, there's like calling features and stuff that we can get into, but that's going to be when we have guests. Yeah, you could call straight into that thing. So like, well, it would Bluetooth to my
like
phone.
A phone icon on there.
Yeah,
and a Bluetooth
Yeah,
button.
So that's what you would do. You would Bluetooth to my phone, or you could plug my phone straight into it so that it can like talk to us. But we would need headphones to hear, so we don't have the specific headphones required, like the jack required. Yeah,
that's interesting.
Yeah, it's an interesting setup. Like the whole thing, you can. That's why I said our podcast setup is mobile. Like you take that anywhere. You could just plug in and record. We could record a podcast on the plane.
Imagine we're just sitting there talking and people are like, what the heck?
What are these people doing?
They're just talking back and forth. Why are they so loud?
Yeah, right. Hi, we're Alyssa Julian. Sorry, go ahead. What's the rest of your goals?
So, like I said, YouTube, just reaction. Like I said, there's always improvement everywhere. My channel, it really needs some work. And then this one, like I said, little things like that we can just, I don't want to say fix, but improve still, I guess. The last thing I had was very... I don't know if you want to say bold. I don't know if you want to say what. I don't know if you want to say...
Well, now you're scaring me. Hold on.
It literally just was a bullet that says, get life together. But I feel like that's more so... Oh, I keep hitting my mic. I feel like that's more so for me with, like I just said, trying to get routine. I feel like as baby boy gets older, it'll be a little easier. For now, it's just kind of, we didn't know how everything was going to go. Obviously, first-time parents, like, you kind of got to figure it out as you go, so to speak.
Oh, yeah.
So we've been doing really well, but I feel okay, I'm just kidding. We've been doing really well, and I feel like as he gets older, he'll start getting more of a routine, which will put us into more of a routine. Because, like, I don't know. He's kind of been in a sleeping routine. His naps have been all types of messed up. I don't know if it's the weather. I don't know if it's him. I don't know if it's us. I don't know what's going on. But like, for instance, we usually put him to bed at like 11 because with the amount of hours he's sleeping, we kind of put him to bed a little later because he'll actually sleep through the night. Like last night, I literally put him to bed at 9 or 9:30 and he woke up at 3:45 in the morning.
Hi, Mom. I'm hungry.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's still like 7-8 hours, which is what he normally sleeps. It's just because we put him to bed sooner, he woke up sooner. So if he goes to bed at like 11:30, he'll sleep till like 7, sometimes 8 o'clock, but it kind of just depends. So I feel, I don't know, like I said, better routines will kind of make me feel more structured, which will kind of make me feel like I have life kind of together. It'll feel a lot better. It might not be all there, but I feel like more structure is like key right now. And I feel like I don't really have any.
That's also, because you are very busy at the moment. Alyssa was a little short-handed. Her job, so she was very, very busy.
I feel like honestly lately within the last like 2 weeks I've worked over 100 hours.
I don't think you feel like that. I think you
I did. Literally one week was like 55 and one was like 52.
Yeah. So I think
it's almost like 110 hours.
I think as things kind of get back to normal on that end, you'll actually see your schedule. And, it'll be your actual
schedule. I'm hoping it'll be better.
It'll be your actual schedule, so you can kind of just go off of that and set up routines. But it's also hard when you work, like, because I used to have this issue too. The only reason why I was able to get a routine before is because I knew most days I would work like, 1:30 to 10.
Yeah, I don't have a set schedule for the most part. I kind of do, but for the most part, like, I don't.
And
it can change literally whenever. It's not like this is your schedule per day, per week type of thing. Like, most of the time it is pretty consistent. I could probably guess when I'm going to be working. But like I said, at any time, if something needed to change, like, it could just change.
Dude, and that was the thing. That was my issue with the Verizon store, because I always would get stuck working late. And I'm like, dude, like, I have stuff to do. Mm-hmm. People would call out and I'd have to pick up their slack.
Because you're there literally all day. You would literally work like 10, 11 hours.
Yeah. So then I'd be like, bruh.
At least.
And then go back and do it again the next day. Yeah. So it's like, yo, bro, like.
By the time you got home, did what you had to do, went to bed, it was like waking up and
doing it all again the next day. Exactly. So it was just like stuff like that is so hard to keep a schedule because you just never know. Like, and then at that point you have some people who just come in and a phone transaction doesn't take 2 seconds. So like they would come in at like, 7:55, we close at 8, and be there till like 8:30, 9 o'clock sometimes. And it was just like, bro, like, come on.
I don't know. I don't want to like bash people, but like I never understood that because I feel like I'm the type of person where I've worked in a spot like that and like that's just really rude and kind of annoying on like my part because I'm like I'm trying to go and like you're holding me up type of thing. So I feel like if I flip it, I always think of it like that. Like I know it's annoying. So if I see a spot's trying to close, even if I have like 15 minutes and like know I can get in and out before they end up closing, like I'm like, no, I'm good. Like,
yeah.
I don't want to do that because I'm like it.
I've literally had someone tell
me. Awful.
I've had someone tell me you're still open for another 5 minutes. You have to help me. And I'm like
at that point, that's just rude. Like you want to get like.
Like, just listen to what you said. Stuff. You're open for another 5 minutes.
If what you're going to do would be 5 minutes or maybe like 2 minutes, I'd be like, bet, as long as we can both still get out of here. But if you know it's going to take a while, like, come on.
It was longer than a half hour, actually. But I'm being nice by saying a half hour. So, yeah. That's what I mean, where it's like, that makes structures just so hard to keep. And I don't know. I think just with both of our lifestyles, it's really hard to get into a structure. Mm-hmm. And even with a baby, like it just adds to that even more. But
that's what's so hard. I don't mean like I need it like down like to a science almost. I just feel I need it a little better than how I've had it lately.
Yeah.
So like it's just like messing me up.
Maybe like as like a here's what I do on this day type of thing instead of here's what I do on this hour.
For sure.
That might be easier because
if I could plan it and be like, all right, I have to work this, but after this, if I do it this and then this and then this, I'll be set.
Well, it's the same thing with the reactions. We know, you have to work, but when you get out, we have reactions to do. Mm-hmm. So you just know what's coming.
Yeah, but I always prepare to like, I probably have to feed him, change him, get him at least settled so he's not like screaming in the background because we've had times like that where like we think he's good and all of a sudden we have to pause and like pick up where we left off.
Dude, you guys
there's like a big section in the reaction like timeline that I have to cut out, but I have to like I try to make it to where like it kind of flows. Like you kind of can't tell that there's a cut, but there's a huge chunk that just got erased from that recording.
Yeah, there's been like hour and a half. Really happened the other day. Yeah, there's literally like hour and a half recordings. Like it's videos that are like we'll record a 10-minute video, but it'll take us an hour and a half to record it. Like you can literally see the timestamp on there, and it kills me because it floods my hard drive. I'm like, yo, my hard drive. It's fine. It's fine.
But we're so into reactions that like we never want to stop and like start over because like it's not like you guys will know. Yeah. But like we want the genuine reaction, so we don't want to like re-record
and try to fake it till you make it.
Yeah, I think we had to do that once because the audio was off, but we weren't that far into the video when we realized. So it was maybe like 2 minutes
If that.
So it was like their intro. So it wasn't really, we did much, but there was one time we did it and we did a whole video without audio. We just scrapped it.
Yeah.
We scrapped it because I was like, I'm not re-recording that. Like, that's not a good reaction because we just watched it.
Yeah, it's not.
I forget what video that was, but we did a good video. We literally had to just And
I loved the video too.
Crap. Scrapped. I forget what video it was, but there was one and we were like, I went to go edit it and I was like, dude, no way. I was like, Julian. You heard us, but you couldn't hear the video.
Literally, we were like, sorry, guys.
You heard the video, but you couldn't hear us.
Yeah, because I had the preamp off.
Yeah, so I was like, no.
You did the whole video and the preamp wasn't on. And the thing that's annoying about the preamp, you guys can't see it, but like there's so many literally lights.
Like right here.
Like if that thing is on, you know, like. And we didn't
realize.
Yeah. So yeah, that sucks.
That was a good time.
But I feel you. More structure.
Just like, honestly, I'm not like, I need it. Like, I'm at the point where I'm just like, a little better would be like, I'd be fine. But right now it's like So those are my 3. Like I said, we had 2 of almost the same. But I'm honestly not really surprised.
I want you to add one.
What?
I want you to learn Photoshop before the end of the year. Like, I want you to be like, not proficient.
I want you to be a pro.
I don't want you to be proficient, but I think you should learn Photoshop.
I actually wrote down a note that has nothing to do with Photoshop. I don't know why it kind of reminded me of it, but I took a note when you were talking because it kind of reminded me from the beginning of the year. If you guys are, I don't want to say OG, but OGs. Before Julian and I started doing live streams on our reaction channel on Thursdays, we would do our own videos. Like we would record a video for the week, edit it, and have it uploaded on Thursday, and that would be our upload. We did one where we made vision boards, and let me tell you, it was pretty fun. That's pretty good structure for yourself for the year to see what you want to get at. I don't really think done anything on my vision board. I'd actually have to pull it out and look at it. I think the only thing I accomplished on my vision board was that I had a baby because I made it while I was pregnant. So we all knew that was going to happen. That's the only thing I think I've probably accomplished. I can't remember everything I had on it, but I know that was one of the only things. So I'm sitting here like, almost, what has it been? Like almost a year? Did we do that last year?
We did it in January.
Yeah, so it's almost a year.
No, it's been 8 months.
If we're going into the home stretch of the ending of the year, and I've accomplished almost nothing. Meanwhile, he just said we did it in January. By May, Julian was done with his whole board.
Like, not all of it.
Pretty much. He had like 2 things left.
3
One
things.
One of them being the piano that he got.
Yeah, literally.
But he bought it, so that's a good start.
I did, and so the camera is one of those things on the vision board. Actually, if you pull it out, that same Sony A7 one you've been wanting is sitting on.
So there's, like I said, a couple things. He's been on this piano. I wouldn't say, honestly, tell me I'm wrong, but I wouldn't say he knows it quite yet.
No, I could talk to you about it, but I don't know. Yeah,
but he bought it, like I said, so it's a good start, and he's been on it. Classes, like all this stuff. So he's been into it. But that, like I said, one of the 2-3 things he hasn't done.
So one thing I took off for myself, because I don't have time. Mm-hmm. And I evaluated my time and I realized it was a bad goal. This is what I talked about, y'all, with bad goals. It's fine to set them. If you need to take them away, because setting a goal, here's the thing, guys, don't get rid of a goal because you're being lazy about the goal. But be realistic when you go to get rid of a goal. So I realized I don't have time to go to a boxing gym because I wanted to learn boxing this year. I realized I don't have the time. I'm a new father. I'm a new father. I wasn't going to hit anyone. It would probably just be like hitting the bags and just learning the technique of boxing. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I would get in the ring with anybody, but
I think I've been to like one like kickboxing class before. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
That's crazy. That's a workout.
That's cool. Well, I did Taekwondo when I was younger.
There you go.
So I would, just getting back into martial arts, I think would have been cool, but I didn't have time. So I took that off on my goal for the year. So it was something that I could have done, but it would have jeopardized either videos or, even my other goals, like just, in terms of making money, things like that. I didn't want to, jeopardize providing for my family. I had to be realistic about providing for my family versus, fulfilling this goal of, just learning the technique of boxing. You could sit home and watch YouTube videos and learn the technique of boxing. So
I feel like a good goal within itself is realizing that like a goal is, I don't even know how to word it. I feel like a good thing for yourself is realizing whether or not a goal is good for you.
Yeah, definitely.
Like the fact that he realized that like it wouldn't work for him and he just had to be like, this isn't a goal I'm going to accomplish, is actually a really good thing. Like some people might take it as like a downfall.
That's what I was going to say, yeah.
But it's not even a downfall. Like if because I feel like you'll feel better just getting rid of it than getting to the end of the year or so and like realizing you can't accomplish it.
Well, that's the thing. I looked at it. And then you just
get hard on yourself.
I just was like, this is unrealistic. I'm just not even going to try. Because, guys, the way I am, if I write down a goal, I go after heavy.
To accomplish it.
That's my problem. That's been my problem, dude. Like, I don't know. I always feel the need to go after every single goal I have. I mean, not necessarily a bad thing, but like I said, it depends on the goal. But you have to realize that it's not. It's a little bit. It's not something you can get at. It's a bit much for your health when you sometimes when you look at these goals and you want to go after them. Sometimes your health suffers in the process. Mm-hmm. And I've been there, but it's not always worth it, and that's where it's hard for me because I struggle with the letdown to myself of like, dang, I'm not going to accomplish this goal. Like I'm really struggling. Like I'm hitting that fourth quarter right now and I'm struggling. I'm like, all right, I'm coming down court. Nobody's open. I'm by myself. I'm wide open. Do I shoot the shot and get the camera? Or do I just hold on to the ball, let the clock run out? And I'm like, because here we are. Just sit here and juggle. Here we are. I'm like, it's coming to the end of the year, but there's that other goal of trying to make sure I pay down debt, make sure my finances are good. Or do I just hang on? Do I just hang on, play it safe, go to OT? Go to OT. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's funny. I don't know. OT. I don't know. That's my basketball analogy. Y'all enjoy that. Just picture that in your head. Notes. Me coming down court, clock 5, 4, 3, 2, and if I get the camera, you'll see I shot my shot. If I don't get the camera, he's going to OT. I'm going to OT. I could get the camera tomorrow if I wanted to, but I don't want my family out in the street. You know what I mean? And that's the thing with goals. We appreciate it's like, I have priorities now, so like I could easily go tomorrow and order this, or I could even end the podcast, order the thing to come in on Amazon. It'll be here within 2 days. That Prime. But is my mortgage money going to be there within the 2 days? You know what I mean? Like seriously though. And that's like, where, flip a coin. But that's the problem. That's what you run into. And that's adulting at its finest. And adulting stinks. And then, when you have adults as a goal, like it's cool because you have money to accomplish these things and do them on your own. But at the same time, it's like, but you got other bills that now came with being an adult. So you don't really have the money to do these things that you want to do. Because you wanted to spend too much on a cruise, but that's a whole other story. We'll talk about that at another time. Yeah, right. So since we've talked about getting into the home stretch, final couple months of the year, we'll just go into the question of the week. Thinking back on everything you've done this year, like literally talking January 21st, wow. January 1st, 2022. It's Martin Luther King Day, I'm pretty sure. What? Isn't January 21st Martin Luther King Day? I thought it was the 15th. Might be the 15th. What's the 21st? The 21st is something, though. I think it's like someone's birthday. Like Washington's birthday or something like that. Or it's something. Lincoln's birthday. I know one of they're all like around the time. All right. Anyway. From January 1st to, you'll hear this episode on August 8th. So from then until now, what's the biggest goal, biggest thing you've accomplished or achieved this year? What about you, Ross?
I would say I actually had to answer down. We discussed this before we started recording, but I literally, I don't know if you saw, I just wrote another one. I would say this podcast within itself, because I'm low-key proud of the thought that it was my idea. Like, I had to push you to do it, which is usually the complete opposite. And I'm so excited I got you into doing it. This is totally out of my comfort zone. And I'm so excited that like we're doing it. I feel like it's been going so well. It's still so much fun. But I feel like I also thought about it and I was like, besides this podcast, like I actually started a channel of my own.
There you go.
In the intentions, like I said, it's what even is my channel at this point. But it needs some work. It needs some TLC. It needs some attention. But I still started it. And I have videos up. Like,
yes, you do.
What?
You have a catalog. Someone could stream your. I'm not streaming. Someone could binge your content.
Crazy to think about. Like both of those are totally out of my comfort zone.
Yeah, way out of your comfort
zone. And
I've
done both.
Yeah, I would say that's awesome.
That's crazy.
I give you credit. That's awesome. For me, man, I don't know. I would say definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, my Tesla for sure.
We've all been waiting for it since I asked the question.
And you know, before we even go any further, like obviously our baby is the love of our life, but like he's not a goal. You know,
I don't know. It's weird to think that like babies are goals to me. Like obviously one day I probably could have been like, yeah, I want to be a mom. Mm-hmm. But I don't know, like, I'm not going to be like, my goal is to have a baby.
My goal for the year was
to have a baby. Because
like, you already knew you were having.
When we got into this year, like January, I was already 7 months pregnant. So like, it wasn't my goal for the year. Like, I don't want it to make it sound bad. Like, I love him to death. But like, I don't know.
You're still a human. You still have so goals weird. And like things like.
My goal would be to be a mom, period. Mm-hmm. Not like, this year's gonna be the year.
Yeah, this is gonna be the year that I'm. No, I get you. I think that I have a few things that I've done this year that really were big. I mean, I went on a cruise ship. That was crazy.
That is crazy.
This is my first time. I mean, I've been out of the country before, but I was really, really young. So I went to Canada before, but like I was so young, I don't remember it. But I went to 2 different countries.
That's crazy.
I went to 2.
One of the ones I've always wanted to go to, but it's fine.
I went to the Bahamas. She was mad. I went to the Bahamas though.
He didn't even tell me it was stopping in the Bahamas until he was in the Bahamas. And I was like, dude, what?
I didn't know because they were like, oh yeah, Castaway Cay is in the Bahamas. I was like, this is the Bahamas? I'm in the Bahamas right now? And then that's when I went. Literally, I signed on to Verizon because we have like a travel pass. I signed on and they were like, I took it off airplane mode and they were like, welcome to the Bahamas. I was like, oh my goodness. I was like, Alyssa, I'm in the Bahamas.
And I was like, dude, what? Like, I literally always wanted to go to the Bahamas.
And then I went to Cozumel, Mexico. So that was cool. And then I visited Miami for the first time ever. And I loved it. That was crazy.
It was like a 3-stop trip over here.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, I think between that and my car, it's hard though, because I've done a lot this year, man. Like, I completely switched over and committed myself. Like, made a whole new channel this year. Like,
I was just thinking that, but I was like, was that this year?
Yeah, I made a whole new channel because, like, as of January, I was still posting on my old one.
Really?
Yeah, because the basketball game, right after the basketball game, I made my new channel. Right after I went to the Knicks game.
Last year?
No, that was January 9th. Because remember, we got COVID right after.
We talked about you making a channel way before then.
Or it was January 7th. We talked about it. I had switched my content. We talked
about it when we were on our way to Jersey when we did that video.
But I switched my content at that one. I was like, I won't make a new channel. I'll just switch my content.
That's what I'm thinking of.
I'll switch my content.
Because I was thinking of your channel and I was like, no, that wasn't this year.
No, then I was like, you know what? This one's dead. Everyone subscribed for gaming. No one's here anymore. Mm-hmm. I just made a whole new one. And honestly, it's been going great. And I love it. So that's been big. I don't know. I feel like I've done a lot. Like I must say, like I stay busy, and that's been something I love. Like just staying busy, constantly have my hand dipped in something, you know?
Yeah, he's crazy. I don't mind staying busy for the most part, but there's a couple days where I'm like, I need to not for a minute.
I don't think I like truly. I rested maybe one day since I gotten back, but other than that, I've been like, go, man.
I think the only time he rested was when we had COVID.
No, I mean like since I got back from the cruise.
And that was more so like forceful.
Yeah, and then that was painful in itself because like just my energy level, and I think that's been good for me too. My energy's starting to come back, which is like
the only other time he didn't do anything, which was probably another like forceful moment, was after I gave birth and we were home.
Yeah, I was home for like a week with her.
Yeah.
She forced me.
Well, yeah, I didn't want to be home the first week by myself with a baby. I was like, sorry, you're not working.
She forced me. She was like, no, stay home.
Literally after a week, though, I was like, yeah, you're good.
I was like, bye.
Not that you like really were crazy. Like you went back to work, but it wasn't like what you do now.
No.
So it wasn't bad. But yeah, that first week, I was like, sorry. I need you.
But yeah, guys, let us know what's some goals you accomplished this year. Dude, another big one that was on that dream board. I bought my first ever like brand new Mac. Like every other Mac I bought was used. This is the first time I actually spent money on like a MacBook. Like,
that was actually another impulse buy. That was a pretty good impulse buy.
I don't consider that impulse. If it's on the vision board, it's not an impulse buy.
I mean, I guess, but when you bring it up on the screen and you're just like, yep, buy. It could lean into the impulse buy side.
If you said the Oculus, yeah, I'd consider that impulse buy.
That was definitely an impulse buy.
AirPod Maxes, impulse buy.
100%.
I would not consider the
this
Mac
piano
impulse
was an
buy.
Impulse buy.
No, that's on the vision board.
Like
it's on the vision board.
It leans more towards the impulse buy side.
Guys.
But anyways, I feel like it was only more towards the impulse buy side because like I said, you finished your board so fast. I feel like for you, like your year isn't from January to December. Your thing was like January to June. And you were like, I need to have it by this point.
Yeah, I literally was like, all right, I want to finish up this board. And I almost bought the camera. The only reason why I didn't buy the camera was because I went on the cruise. It got to the point where like our cruise stuff was going kind of south and we thought we weren't going to get to go. Go check out our podcast episode on that. But I was like, I mean, hey, I guess I'll get in a camera. If it doesn't work out, I'm just going to get a camera. And that's what I expected.
It worked out. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for real. Honestly, I'm glad with how it worked out. I'm perfectly fine with it.
I bet. Sounded like fun.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun. I got to see Thor: Love and Thunder on a boat.
Whatever. Next week episode, we're going to talk about acquiring new skills.
Yes, that's why.
We've acquired, ones we want to acquire, ones we want to learn, teach, something.
That's why I was on Alyssa and the intentions to get on Photoshop. Because now that'll be a talking point in the podcast.
I've been on Photoshop before. I've done Photoshop.
You used to do thumbnails.
But I feel like it was probably the more basic side and like quick. Because honestly, if you told me to like make the thumbnails like we did before, I don't even think I could do it anymore. Because I haven't been on it in so long. I guarantee if I went on Canva, I could probably make it. Or do something along the lines of it. But if you told me to go on Photoshop and make that thumbnail we used to make, I think I would get like 2 steps in and be like, wait, now what? How did I do this?
Because we used to do a thumbnail with two photos and a line through it, kind of. And I basically taught her how to do like all of it. And she was doing it.
Not even that. I don't even think I did that one. I did the one where it was the background and we were like in the corner. Remember?
I don't.
I'll have to pull it up. I never did the ones with the lines.
Didn't do the ones with the lines?
That was you. I did other ones. I did another one.
Okay. So I did
another kind.
Gotcha. Well, I want Alyssa to be able to, I want you to be able to make the thumbnail I made today. Because I don't think that was that hard. Like the one I made for my video. I feel like that was a very simple.
I've seen you kind of do it. I feel like my thing with Photoshop is like, I feel like cutting out images is where I'm going to get like annoyed.
Yeah. And the thing with Photoshop is there's so much to do on there. And there's so many buttons. So like.
That kind of what like
It's overwhelming. I don't know what
what
all the buttons do. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I just know like the ones I need.
I would say the ones you use.
And then the
time.
problem, I also like if I have a problem come up, I know what I'm looking for to look it up and be like, hey, how do I do blah blah blah?
Oh yeah.
And right on YouTube, they give you, here's how you do this, and then
I
boom.
wouldn't even know how. I have the longest thing in the look and like what to look for. How do I do that?
Same thing with video editing. I always look up how do I create blah 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 effect. Teaches me in a few steps.
And like 6 different videos.
Literally, it's crazy.
All right. That's all I got.
I was about to say, I think that's it for this episode, guys. We're kind of getting hot, so I think it's time to go. We hope you enjoyed though, man. And honestly, like I really want to hear your goals. And I hope you guys are setting really good goals, especially with school coming back and everything pretty soon, guys. Yeah, I want to see really good goals, and I want to see you guys
probably in a couple weeks if they're not already in school.
I want to see you guys accomplishing them and just really like owning it, man. Like knowing what your goals are, owning it, and just bragging about all your success. Like I want to see all the bragging in our Discord. But all right, guys, we're out here. Keep grinding, keep chasing your dreams. Remember, nothing with them comes easy. We out. Peace.